Ooh.
But he has an amazing ant collection. 14 minutes after 8 o'clock. Good morning, Roswell and southeastern New Mexico, and parts unknown as well. I am joined in studio this morning by none other than the Honorable Mayor, Dennis Kintigh. How are you doing this morning, sir?
The honorable thing is a little creepy.
I always hit you with it right out the gate.
I know. It's like, ooh,
just to gauge where we're at. You know, I figure if you start off honorable and you know,
then
can only go downhill from there.
Then drop down into the normal.
That's right.
Doing good. Been a good weekend. I don't know if you noticed, it's been kind of warm.
A little bit on the. I don't know if somebody left the heater on or what happened, but
yeah, golly,
we just blew right through spring. It was real nice there for a quick minute. 70s, and then all of a sudden just can't go outside.
So I've been asked if I could do something about the heat. Now I'm going to be working on that today.
Ah, good.
No promises, but
you're going to go. You have a meeting with the man.
Well, it's I write proclamations.
Oh yeah.
Who knows?
I'm just saying, if you could, proclaim a cooler day, that'd be and 99 for the high tomorrow, so you have a chance. If you just say, okay, look, I can make it happen by a few degrees, but only for tomorrow.
Wow.
Just saying. Study meteorology.
We need to talk.
I now work for the mayor's office. I'm an advisor. I just watch the weather and let him know when it's going to be cooler.
So we had, as you mentioned, we had our city council meeting on Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Normally, we would break this down on Friday, but obviously for obvious reasons.
Yeah, you guys were doing something really important.
Got
That's
delayed.
Pretty cool. It was weird. I was actually working a wire in the customs house back in '91 before I got transferred here. And the customs house, I can never remember, was building 4 in the world the complex there.
Mm-hmm.
I was staying in a hotel. Actually, we were coming up from D.C., staying in that hotel, the one that got the bomb underneath,
right,
in '93, and then we were working in the customs house, and went back. Oh gosh, long after 9/11, we went up for a wedding, family wedding in Vermont, and went down to New York City,
mm-hmm.
and it was just a big hole in the ground. It was really kind of weird, to say the least.
Sure.
It was just. It's a strange thing.
The way somebody summed it up to me was they remember being in New York and how it's just dark in New York, like at sunrise or when the sun comes up, because of all the buildings. It just blocks out the sun. And then all of a sudden they just get smacked in the face with sun because there was just a big gap where the buildings were. So yeah, it's palpable for a lot of reasons. But obviously for, if you have a chance, go check out the memorial.
Yeah.
But we digress. You guys had a lot to cover on Thursday. And
we did.
You got through it.
We did. We made it actually in just 3 hours.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. So break it down for us, Mixmaster.
We began with a presentation from Mr. Marcos Nava about the Hispano Chamber. Now, we have we have an agreement with the Hispano Chamber. We provide them some funding, and they provide services to the city.
Sure.
Mr. Nava, if you've not met Marcos, is just one of those incredibly fine gentlemen. He's a real asset to this town.
Mm-hmm.
He was leading the census effort, doing a bang-up job, and we got nailed with COVID at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say enough good things about Marcos Nava. He is really an asset. So we gave a presentation, and then we got into the grunt work, and I'll swing through this. First thing up was what we call an industrial revenue bond. It's a financing tax thing, kind of complicated, kind of a pain in the you-know-what.
You didn't say you were going to talk dirty to us. I mean, come on.
I know.
You got to clean up your language for radio.
It's for Leprino.
It's hot in here.
They had folks down from, it was really kind of funny because this has to be done as an ordinance. So ordinance means public hearing, all that kind of formalistic stuff. Well, last month, if you remember, we do the authorization to advertise for a future public hearing. Well, last month, that stuff comes at the end of the agenda. And so these poor people from Leprino came down from Denver, and they sat through that marathon thing in May. Oh, my God. So this time, we were done, bam, by 6:20. They were up, and they were out in like 7 minutes.
Excellent.
So it was kind of fun to see them go. Not spend the whole night.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's like go enjoy the rest of your nights, boys and girls.
Yeah, go have some
fun.
dinner, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, next up, we had 2 other ordinances, one dealing with updating, Section 8 dealing with camping. All right, there's a lot of misconceptions here.
Okay.
Basically, the way the code had been written, nobody could camp. Not even you and your kids in the backyard.
Really?
Yeah, it was
okay.
It was badly written. So we cleaned that up. So, obviously homeowner can.
So we're free now, right?
Yeah, we can do this. Well, it was written who knows how long ago. So that got cleaned up. But the gist of it is, no, you can't camp. You can't camp in a riverbed. You can't camp on public property. No, it doesn't work that way. Then we cleaned up a bunch of stuff in a nuisance ordinance. Both of those passed 8-2 with Councilors Oropesa and Peterson in voting no. Mm-hmm. We got into, and we're putting out an RFP to have available contractors to do tree removal. And the objective here is we get a storm like we did over Memorial Day weekend. And there's a bunch of stuff that needs to be done quickly, and staff can, we have some guys who will do this, but they can't be everywhere. So the idea is you have pre-approved contractors, and you just call them up and say, hey, bing, go to work.
Now I have an approach that you might want to take. Now I agree, having a contractor like an on call, great idea.
Why am I afraid?
Here's my idea. Okay. That storm did a pretty good job of clearing out a lot of the brush that needed to be cleared out. A lot of those tree branches that were nuisances are now in the roads that I've been avoiding for the last couple of weeks. So here's what we do. We need to hire somebody, a professional cloud seeder. Take him out to the overlook outside of Bottomless, right? Just right there. Fire a couple of shots up into the clouds, seed the clouds, get us a good torrential storm like what we had over Memorial Day weekend. Just, a couple times a month, clear out some of the brush, let Mother Nature take care of itself.
You are a frightening person.
I'm just saying, it's outside of the box.
It's going to be a long week without Mike.
It's outside of the box thinking like this that's going to get us through and get us to the next step.
Moving right along.
Moving on.
So down in what's called the Triangle, which is the area between Maine and Southeast Maine, there was an elementary school called Chisholm, and that was closed on, like 15 years ago or whatever.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, it was torn down, and the property came to the city. Well, what we got is some funding from the state to build a park there. And so we got about $400,000 in the capital outlay. So last night, we, after some discussion, voted to go ahead with making that a city park. So that will move forward.
Nice. Perfect. That's awesome.
Then we jumped right into the resolution dealing with declaring a disaster after the weather. Karen Sanders got up and gave a great presentation. She, had pictures showing what was going on. Yeah. Once again, I've been bragging on Mike Matthews, Deputy City Manager, and Karen Sanders, Emergency Services Manager. They were out working their tails off throughout this whole thing. The Memorial Day, apparently, it was when a levee broke to the west of town.
Yeah, and seeing some of those pictures from down south, I actually got stuck. I was trying to drive down, I can't remember which road, Sunset, and right there at one dip, it was to the point where water was over my hood. Now, granted, I drive a shoebox, but still, water was up over my hood. It's scary.
I get it. I get it. Well, it was like flowing like crazy Monday evening. Tuesday, the Air Center staff, that was Steve Christopher and Scott Massey, arranged to get Karen up in a helicopter.
Oh, wow.
And she flew out to the west because at the time, we didn't know where all the water was coming from. Nobody, because this was not normal.
Right.
Even when we have heavy rains, but it's not, where is this water coming? So she went out there and took the pictures and found where the water was, found the levee break.
And to get up there and see that from that perspective, it's just got to be crazy. To actually follow the trail and see the origin, that's crazy.
So the Flood Commission made a decision not to try and patch that or repair that or plug that. I'm assuming now that they will be moving forward. We have a Flood Commission that is responsible for making sure things like this don't happen.
Sure.
And so hopefully they'll be working on that. But Karen gave us an update. We declared the disaster. This hopefully helps us get more funding from the state and maybe the feds. So very interesting, very overwhelming. Went into, we have an election coming up. No joke. In March.
Really?
Yes, March. We have a municipal election. We have 5 city councilors.
Okay.
And ta-da, guess what? A mayor.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So we'll talk more about that sometime. But anyway.
Yeah. So let's just glaze right over that. We'll talk about that later.
So what we did is we did a resolution identifying where the polling locations would be. So we've got, I think, 6 altogether.
Okay.
So that's going to be, 1 in each ward, and actually 2 in Ward 5.
Gotcha.
So that went 10-0. Then we went into another thing on the audit. We got an audit. We have to accept it and approve it according to DFA. We did that. This is really housekeeping stuff. Sale of, not really sales, disposal of surplus property. We've gotten into this mode where we're trying to clean out the crap. It's kind of like the cleaning out your garage.
Right.
Only doing it on steroids. So we're actually going through, but to do that, because it's city property, we have to do a resolution.
Sure.
So we're doing this now every single city council meeting.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
And that was sort of, I kind of like that we got back to that, because that was sort of an approach that you had taken, out of the gate, when you'd first gotten elected, was getting rid of a lot of the derelict buildings around Roswell, cleaning up a lot of the problem spots, the shadowy areas that just kind of cast a blight on Roswell, and kind of getting back into that and that mindset of, all right, let's tidy things up a bit.
And so we got that done, and then we jumped into, and you're thinking, oh wait, this is going along great, and it was going along great. We're getting to the point where it's not going to go along great, and a couple of things here. One talked about a authorization to advertise for a public hearing on the building codes. This is really an in the weeds thing. And then same thing on the election code, kind of going back to that point about the upcoming election. We have to clean up some ordinances. Ordinances are like laws. They're city laws. You hear the term statutes, that's used at states and the federal level. Well, in the city level, municipal level, it's called an ordinance. So we go forward with that, and I'm thinking, woo, we might get out of here.
Arrived in turn 3.
We got hung up on the fire hydrant meter policy.
A group of Dobermans were presenting a situation where
we just did it to ourselves. We had a long, extensive discussion about this.
All right.
That lasted about 43 minutes, not that I'm counting.
No, not at all. But you have people for that were.
Yeah. So we're here's the gist of it is this. Most people don't get this because most people don't bother with this.
Right.
But if you're in the construction business, many other things, sometimes you need large amounts of water. All right. You don't plug your hose into the faucet there at the house,
right,
and turn on. You can arrange to have a water delivery from a fire hydrant. But we have to put a meter on it because we're charging you for the water.
Sure.
And not most importantly, but up there is the EPA, God bless them, wants to make sure we know where our water is going and that you don't have stuff back flushing into it.
Right.
Well, so this was a policy. It's some discussion, lots of questions. How is this going to work? What's this do? What about if you want to fill your swimming pool? Do you have to do all this? No, this is for commercial type operations. We can come out, set something up real quick. If you want to fill your swimming pool, and if you haven't done it yet and you've got a swimming pool, bad news, you're late.
And this is something that it's one of those like rumors you hear around the summertime. Like every single year, you always hear that. You can just call the fire department; they'll come out and fill your pool up for you.
No,
I know it's everybody's. It's
call
the go-to.
the water department.
Yeah, they're like, just call the fire department. They'll come out and they'll spray it. They'll fill your pool up, no problem.
We have the water department.
The fire department's great. You can leave your babies on their doorstep. They'll come out and fill your pool. They really are for the people.
They are, and they are. They're awesome.
There you go.
But no. So, long story short, that did pass 9-1, and we moved on and wrapped up the last few things, and we were done by 9:08.
Look at that.
Would like to have been done an hour earlier, but
still, though, you cleared out before 10 o'clock. I mean,
we were out before 10 o'clock. We were out before midnight, which is my new standard for success.
Before the witching hour.
Well,
which, if you can make it out before it's still the same day, that's a good, good line of demarcation.
So we are coming up just a couple items. We're coming up on UFO Festival.
Yes, absolutely.
Big time. And that's actually in less than 3 weeks.
Man, that's insane how fast this year has gone. It is insane.
Well, and here's the fun thing is that we're doing this, okay? Now, technically, the state is not open.
Right.
So don't be listening, Santa Fe.
Some people may or may not be gathering.
So we're actually doing the UFO Festival. We got a lot of cool activities going on, planning, and you can go to the city website and check it out.
Yep.
We're also having some stuff downtown.
Yeah.
We're doing some stuff out in Cielo Grande. And so it's going to be a fun weekend, and so we look forward to having it.
I've been chatting with Miss Marie Manning from Main Street Roswell. Just kind of talking about all the stuff that she's got planned. And boy, this really is her baby. I mean, she's taken the reins from the Main Street Roswell side of things, and she's like set up the concert downtown. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff happening that weekend. It's the same thing with Galacticon. I mean, we're kind of cramming it all into one space, into one weekend.
Yes, right. Now, we will not be closing Main Street. That's been some people have raised some eyebrows about that. We're going to see how that works. There's certain advantages and there's certain disadvantages to closing Main Street.
Less real estate, I would imagine, for some of the kiosks and shops, but also it opens up more opportunities in some of the side places, some of the side streets of Roswell.
Yes, exactly. So what we will see is most of the UFO stuff is over at the Bremen parking lot. And the neat thing about that is there's already, when that was built, when we built that, oh my gosh, 7 years ago now.
Has it already been?
Yeah.
Wow.
It has been.
That thing's still brand new. Look, I mean, it still has that new parking lot smell.
It has has the electrical hookups there, so you can just plug right in, and which is the way it was designed.
Right.
So we're going to be doing some things into Bremen too, and we got the planetarium up and running.
Nice.
So
excellent.
This is going to be an exciting time.
They've completed everything. All their renovations with their new I think roof and all that has been completed.
Yeah, they've got everything is up to snuff. So
fantastic.
Come out and check it out.
Now, another question a lot of people have had coming up on fireworks season.
Yes.
Obviously, a lot of. This is, I keep using the phrase, and you're going to hear this a lot out of me probably this week, waxed, vaxxed, and ready for hot boy summer. Because that's kind of how we are. We're in that mindset of we're trying to cram 2 summers worth of fun into this one summer. And so there's going to be some idiots with fireworks out there. What are, obviously you use your own personal discretion advised, but what are the official lines in the sand? What are the official ordinances in city, out of city? Where do we stand?
Basically, you're not supposed to go up in the air with stuff in the city.
More than 10 feet, right?
Something like that.
Okay.
And
no loud noises.
Yeah.
So basically snakes and sparklers in city.
Which we all know is not happening.
So you're sitting here.
I know.
Being the mayor of Roswell and telling me
I'm a realist. Come on.
I can't fire off one single whisker biscuit, a Skeeter chaser with or without the scooter stick. No.
What can I say?
No flaming kitty chasers?
What can I say?
Darn
we don't want to start a forest fire in the city.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the season. We all know it's going to start lighting up here. Here's the thing. A couple of thoughts. Be respectful of your neighbors.
Please.
Clean up your debris.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, don't leave the city street just completely littered. I mean, come on.
July 5th, it's like driving through a war zone around Roswell.
I know. And it's all over the place. There'll be some outside. We're not doing a city fireworks this year.
Right.
We're actually having some discussions with some private groups about bringing them back. Kind of a citywide fireworks next year. But the desire is that the city would not be the entity doing the fireworks. Now, in the past, we've had private groups that put that together. Sertoma for years did that.
Absolutely.
And I'm hoping that we can get to something like that again, where, we make available a location. Cielo Grande is the obvious.
Right.
And then you also have the firefighters there for protection. but we don't want to put the firefighters in the role of doing.
After the events of a few years ago, it really puts things in perspective. That it's definitely something that would be a great thing to have, but it's not a necessity.
That's right.
Not when lives are on the line.
But there will be other. I know there's groups around, and there's that are doing fireworks, and so God bless them. Hopefully, like I said, we'll have something citywide, but privately, a private group organized and conducted next year, which would be
nice.
Peachy Keen.
Hey, it's something to look forward to. Yeah.
Now, also right now, that if you may remember, the Veterans Cemetery Memorial Day ceremony was canceled because of the torrential downpour. It's tentatively scheduled to be done on Monday, July 5th. Now, July 5th is a holiday, so that will be a perfect time to do this, make up for that lost opportunity.
Sure.
But
I didn't realize 4th of July was on a Sunday.
Oh my gosh, there's so much going on.
Oh yeah, no, we're gearing up for festival season. I mean, right off on the tail of Alien Fest is Chili Cheese Fest is going to be getting back underway. I mean, we're getting close to fair season, again, and then God willing, that's going to be back operational.
And then you were just talking about Little League softball and baseball.
Yeah.
I've got grandkids now playing soccer, which I know nothing about soccer except there's a ball involved and there's hitting. Kicking, or is it hitting? Oh, whatever. So, Cielo Grande on Saturday morning.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
It's a wash like a sea of humanity.
Exactly. It's like, oh my golly, and then there's kind of a hoot, especially the younger ones. Oh my Lord.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I've, and I was thinking about it too. It's like the crowd that I've been seeing at like some of the soccer games and some of the events here in Roswell, it's very reminiscent of almost like being out at like Hike It, Spike It, like being out at that on the field, like, just in that sea of humanity of just people from kind of all over the place. And that's another thing that I feel like maybe make its way back, in the next couple of years.
You raised a good point, and I should reach out to some folks to find out if Hike It or Spike It is going to come back. They've lost 2 years because they didn't do it last year and they didn't do it this year. So, fair question: is it going to come back next year? And if so, let's start planning now. It's funny. These big events like UFO Festival and Hike It and Spike It and those things, you really start the planning like 3 weeks after. The event is over.
Yeah, you wrap one up and you're like, okay, now let's do a post-mortem. What happened? What can we fix? What do we do right? And let's go from there. And that's one thing that I will absolutely give to the to the folks that run those the city of Roswell to Main Street is the people that are put in place really do take the planning of these events incredibly seriously. It's top priority and it's fantastic.
We haven't talked about is the rec center is open.
Yes, and I have taken full advantage of that with my children.
Cool.
Yes.
It is cool, I assume, right?
For the most part, yeah, absolutely. Here's the fun story. So I went there. I was pull back at the curtain. We don't have childcare for our kids for the most part this week, so we've been kind of taking them on in different capacities. I took a lunch break the other day and took them to the aquatic center.
Cool.
So let them kind of do the splash around thing. But I was fully dressed, like shirt, jeans, the whole thing. Somehow, because I'm me, I ended up falling into the pool, fully clothed.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, and so I figured I'm already here. I might as well swim around a little bit. So for about 10 minutes, you saw a dude in jeans and a T-shirt swimming around in the pool, and that was me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you have any electronics in your pocket?
Luckily, I did not. I had cleared those out. I'd put those over on the table about 10 minutes beforehand. I was very thankful for that. But it was an interesting event. I'm shocked they didn't call me out for hey, no chains in the pool. But hey, beautiful facility and doing great out there too.
The splash pad over in Pocorn Park is up and running.
Yes,
and
it is.
The new one down on Southeast Main, what's called Carpenter's Park, is closed. Later on today, I'll find out where we're at with that. But we were down to the last few, what they call the punch list. We got to fix the last few things to make sure before we can go operational. So that's going to be happening real soon.
Excellent.
I'd like to see it before the 4th, but it's outside my hands. So we'll see what all's coming together. But it's that's going to be another neat feature. And those are free. the splash pad's open to the public, free. Come down and hang out. And
that's another place where you go and you see just a whole group of people. It's been packed. I took the kids out there the other day, and the water, by the way, significantly colder at the splash pad than it is in the pools, the aquatic center.
That could be a good thing.
It very well could be. But I fully recommend take advantage of all that stuff. There's lots of ways to keep cool this summertime, and soak it all in.
Exactly.
It's going to be a hot one, folks. We need to find all the ways to keep cool that we can.
Exactly.
Well, Mary, you're a busy man. I will let you get back to it. How do folks get a hold of you if they have any questions?
Well, easiest way is email me at Roswell Mayor at roswell-nm.gov, G-O-V. That's Roswell Mayor, all one word, no periods, no nothing. Doesn't matter if it's uppercase, lowercase, Roswell Mayor at roswell-nm.gov. That keeps us from being confused with that other fake Roswell on the East Coast.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That other Roswell. So any questions, any concerns, if you want to let the mayor know, hey, I noticed that you glazed over the fact that you're going into an election season. If you want to call him out on that through his email, feel free to Roswell Mayor at roswell-nm.gov.
You got it. Mm-hmm. All right.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
I'll see you back for the rundown for next month.
Wow, and that's going to be in like a short period of time.
Man, July almost already. It's stupid.
I know.
This is what happens when you live your life 2 weeks at a time.
By the way, Father's Day is next Sunday.
Yes. Just a reminder, folks.
Dads,
take care of Dad. Dad takes care of you. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. Appreciate you. 19 away from 9 o'clock.